Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the gravity while also showing you the map that I prepared yesterday for the stream. So gravity is going to be mostly related to the boltshot because the boltshot are the most affected by this, but obviously there's the bombs. But the boltshot is very interesting because you can kill a raider from one side of a map to the other, and it's super fun. And this map that I'm showing you, I will put it in the socials. So if you want to look at it, to look at the different setups, no worries, and you can explore everything. So the thing is, when you're playing the ball shots, you know the ball shot, they have like a kind of arc stroke, right? They go up a little bit and then they go down because of the gravity, right? People usually they think that the line of sight of a trap is the range of fire, which is completely different. When the balls go down, people usually just like go for a flat ground, and the balls just like go hit the ground after the line of sight of a bolt shot. This is the line of sight of the bolt shots, right? And this one is overshot. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A bolt shot can get triggered 8 cubes away, but that doesn't mean that after those 8 or 9 cubes, depending if you have a shot or not, that you can't kill the raider. It just means that if the raider doesn't pass through this line of sight, it won't trigger the trap. So again, line of sight different from range of fire. This one, for example, I made the test. It can kill me around here. This one with the other shot, it kills me around here. I will show you. So the thing is, when you're using the bolt shots, it's very important that, and this is one of the reasons I told you to build big, is because you can have so much potential with a bolt shot, and you can kill a raider from one side of the map to the other with just one bolt shot with no mod. It depends how you set up your base, how far the raider is from your bolt shot, because the further the raider is from the bolt shot, the longer it would take for the bolts to hit the raider, but it will be also unexpected. It's important to keep that in mind because this is where you understand the true potential of the traps. The devs showed that you could fire, because of the gravity, you could fire a ball shot longer than 8 cubes. And I was like, that's interesting. So what can I do to use the true potential of a ball shot? How far, how crazy it could be with a ball shot? And basically, you don't have maximum range. It will only depend of if you have overshot or not, and also how you're gonna play with gravity with your ball. The higher it is, the further away it will be able to kill the raider. If I put this ball shot, the same ball shot here, the balls are gonna land like around here. This is why it's very important to play with gravity. Gravity is not your enemy, it's something that you have to play with. There you go. I want to go fast as a speedrunner. I will try anything to go as fast as I can. So the more speed, like, or the more freedom you give to the raider, the faster he will go. So when you want to kill someone with ball shot, you just let him go. Like, let him zoom so fast with a boost step. And see, I'm opening. Ah, this one I didn't get hit. So this is also the downside of each trap. Even if you optimize, it might not work all the time. I was very close to it. So when, for example, you build a ball shot, depending of how you want your ball shot to work, you will have to put different mods, and we're gonna talk about the mods. The mods, we're gonna go one by one, and I will explain you what is the best mod to use against which type of raiders. So the Overshot gives you way more range, depending also how high your ball shot is. And I would recommend the Overshot to be used against the speedrunners only. Why? It's because Overshot gives you more range, meaning that you have to reach a longer distance. And speedrunners are going fast and they are traveling a lot of distance very quickly. So what you want then is to reach the raider further away, and the Overshot excels with this. It excels against the speedrunners. It can be good also against the versatile raiders. So again, the versatiles are the ones that are going slow, going fast, depending on like how they feel, so they can be tricky to kill. And it probably won't be the best against inchwormers because inchwormers have a tendency to go back or go very slow, meaning that the overshot will be completely useless. So I would suggest you use the overshot just for the speedrunners, and at some point when you get to use the bullshot, when you master the bullshot, maybe try some setups to see if, like, for example, you can get inchwormer with the overshot. Like, I think the overshot with a hunter mod will be more efficient against the inchwormers, but overshot by itself, it's just for the speedrunner. The double down is also something that is very situational depending on where your bullshot is. It can be useful against any type of raiders, but I would say it has less efficiency against the inchwormers. If you want to kill an inchwormer, don't put a bullshot in front of them, but more on the back or on the roof or somewhere, but not in front of them. So the double down can be very useful against the speedrunners, especially like if you have a path where the speedrunners have to pass 2 times. It's very interesting. It can be also very useful for bullshot that are very well hidden against inchwormers. Double down is very, very situational. It can be good for all the type of raiders. It's just like if you use double down, especially against inchwormers, make sure that it's well hidden. Now the Hunter mod. So I think the Hunter mod is one of the most used mods, and it's also the one that is the most used but not well used. And I will show you something. So in red is like the action range of the Hunter mod, and in yellow black it's like kind of the limit of the bullshot. When you are playing with the Hunter mod, um, it's tricky because the bolts are a bit slower, and they are also the bolt shot is aiming for the feet of a raider, which means that the bolts will have a tendency to go down. It's very tricky to use Verhunter mod, and I think it's like one of the most popular mods, but also the mod that is like poorly used. And it's all right. Like the Hunter mod, I understand it's like very, very, very tricky. And obviously, on a flat surface, you won't go that far. You won't go that far because again, it's saving the feet and it's going down much faster. Also, there is one thing that I've seen so many times. Don't try to use the bull shot close to the raider. The bull shot is a trap that is about sniping a raider. So if it has 8 range, it has a purpose. So if you have a bull shot at 2 or 3 cubes from the raider, it's obviously if you have plenty of bull shot at like 2 cubes from the raider, you're gonna kill the raider. But I would say if you want to optimize your traps, put a bull shot far enough from the raider so the bull shot can trigger even if like the raider is shooting the bull shot. If the trap is far enough, it will trigger and shoot, and the raider, even if it shoots the trap's gonna be destroyed, but the projectile gonna be launched. So this is also why it's important to have a trap that is far from the raider. Also, what I've seen a lot with the hunter mod is like people are using the hunter mod when the raider is here, right? Okay. So the thing is, when you use the hunter mod, it's important to understand and to know because again, the game doesn't tell you this. It's important to know that during the trigger, the sound of a ding, this is where you give a must angle for your bolt, especially if you don't use the relentless. During this activation, this is where you have to place the rotor in a certain path, for example, so the bolts can get the best angle and then fly and move towards the raider more or less because they move a bit during their flight. But the most important thing is when the bull shot got triggered. It's where it gives the most angle. So you can play with laterality of the hunter mod, but don't try to use the hunter mod here. Like the first 3 cubes, it's useless. Don't use the hunter mod if you have a raider that is like within 3 cubes of a bull shot because the bolts are just going straightforward. It won't be able to catch the angle of the radar. However, when you are at 3.54 cubes, this is where it becomes very interesting. And you can go up to 6, 7 cubes, 8 cubes. It's obviously the further away it is, so the trickier the hunter mod will be to use. But I would suggest you to use like to have a radar between 3.54 cubes to 6, 7 cubes distance to give the best angle to the bolt shot. So I'm just going to show you what I mean by this. Yeah, it's on double down. So I will just walk just to show you. See? It's just going straight. But now, if I'm going at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say 6. You see what I mean? This is exactly what I mean. So the further away the radar is, the best angle you give to your ball shot. Now, as you can see on the floor, there are the bolts, right? So how do we avoid to lose bolts on the floor? Well, guess what? You have to remove this flat floor and play with your environment. And when you play with your environment, suddenly the ball shot shines, the hunter mode shines because you will play with the gravity, with the shapes of your base, and you will have the true potential of it. So let's say I'm a slow raider. Obviously, it's very simple. There is no decoration. There is nothing to distract. So obviously, it will look obvious that there is a trap here, and this is why this is important to build bigger, to also put charm to your base, like putting decorations, lights, paints, props, because it distracts the raider, and any kind of props, any kind of paint and light can be a distraction for the raider. So do not underestimate the decoration of your outpost, because anything that can hide a bit the trap or all the traps is very important. Every single detail. And this is why people are like, oh, I don't know where it's coming from and blah, 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 blah. It's normal because they are distracted. And the more you distract the raider, the higher chance you will have for your traps to kill a raider. So let's say, for example, here. Okay. So here I'm a slow runner. So I'm moving like this. Oh shit. No. And there you go. So see, when you play with the shapes in your builds, you get the full potential. And here I got killed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at the 7th cube, I got killed. Now I will show you what you shouldn't do when you have a speedrunner, and I will show you why. Like, it's just gonna show you why the hunter mod is not good against speedrunners. So here we go. There we go. No effect, right? No effect because I lost all of my balls here, right? I lost all of my balls. So if the speedrunner is going away from the ball shot, it won't work. Because obviously when you go down, you will have to shape also your base. So here I lose my bolts here. I lose bolts here. So it doesn't work, right? If you want to kill a raider with a hunter mod, you have to play like this. Oh, there you go. You have to experience to understand why it's not working against speedrunners and how to make it work. And see here, if I didn't get this slope, I could get killed. And I'm going fast. So when you use a hunter mod against the speedrunner, you have to use the hunter mod in front of a speedrunner. This is very important, and I will show you in another setup that I'm using a lot. And it's super cheap, it's super simple, but it excels against speedrun. When I was talking about laterality at the beginning, you cannot go like this. Like, for example, you have your bull shot here and the raider going like parallel to the bull shot. It won't work. So what you have to do is goes like in diagonal, something in diagonal. And down too. So, like for example, this kind of peaks, I'm going down and in diagonal. Why you have to go in diagonal? It's because the bolts cannot follow, right? They cannot go for 80 degrees. So they just have an angle where they will go diagonally. So the when you keep your diagonal, you will have a higher chance to kill a raider. Now we have seen this, I will show you what I'm doing against speedrunners. The setup looks like this. I put corrosive cube because it prevents the raider to go there. And the basic setup, it's like the final setup is like this. I'm going for pulverize here, right? And I have a pulverize here, a cannon back here, and a boltshot with Hunter and Relentless. And this setup, this simple setup, is really, 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 really good against speedrunners. Obviously, it won't work against inchwormers because inchwormers and speedrunners will have different setup to be able to be killed. But this one, like you can even put an enforcer here or put nothing. But usually I would put something so the raider have to focus and imitate danger in front of him, but also being focused on this. So I'm going to show you. Oh yeah, way better. Okay, so see, because I have to manage this, this, and this, just three things, and the fact that I cannot have like something here, like I cannot land here. This becomes very, very stressful. And it's kind of open. Obviously, it's not fully open, but I give the possibility of a raider to go fast. And when you are trying to kill a speedrunner, what I'm doing is just let him go fast. I'm not trying to stop the speedrunner. I just let him go super fast. I'm like, okay, you want to go fast? Go fast. Also, if you are not sure of the timing, because as you could see before, I missed the raider because all my bolts went out at one time. What you can do is having the Relentless. So let's talk about the Relentless. The Relentless, it's one of the best mod. Um, Relentless, it doesn't shoot all the bolts in one at once. It just shoot the bolts within 2 seconds. What does it mean? Except for the fact that you can put pressure in a tight corridor against a speedrunner, it also means that you enlarge the window, like the hit window of your bolt shot, meaning that you give your trap more chance to have the raider in its line of sight, or to have like the raider in its light of path of the bolt. Meaning that if you are sure that your bullshot will hit no matter what, don't use Relentless. If you are not sure, like for example here, it's a bit open, you're gonna use the Relentless because you are not sure that you're gonna hit the raider because the raider might be higher or like under the bolts. So that means that if, for example, I'm staying a bit more in the air, the first bolt gonna pass, but I might be hit by the second one. Whereas if I didn't have a Relentless, all the bolts will just pass under me and I will be fine. So here we go again. And obviously I'm playing this, I know the setup, so I kind of know where I have to be hit. But you can try on your side just to see, like I can make one without the Relentless and also another like ramp here, um, like with and without the Relentless. But the Relentless allows you to have a bigger window to hit a raider. Also, one important thing when you're playing with a bullshot, um, don't try to have a bullshot that is aiming in one cube. Like for example, bullshot like this, right? It might kill sometimes, but you are not using the potential of a bullshot because the bullshot here, all of its line of sight, like all this shooting range, it's just on one cube, right? And you don't want this with a bullshot. What you want is your bullshot to go as far as you want. right? So I will show you now with the Overshot. And I'm gonna go also super fast. See? This is all what you need to kill a speedrunner. And I got killed. So I was killed here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 cubes distance. And the ball shot is at the limit of the map here. And I got killed here. Okay? But you know what? Because we want even more crazy stuff to happen, you can play with a ball shot on the slope. This one. Alright? So the slopes are a bit trickier to place, but it's so much fun. So this ball shot will kill me somewhere on this ramp. So I would try without the speed and with the adrenaline shot. And see, the thing is, here the problem that I have, I should get killed here. So this is the downside. This is the downside of the slope. It's like if you have something on the slope, you will have to make sure that your raider, like your ball shot, have put full potential. Because here I lost 3 bolts right there, and that was the bolt that was supposed to kill me. So if you want to play with this, you will have to make sure that the raider, like your ball shot, has like full potential. So let's try, for example, like something like this, right? And we're gonna open, but not too much, because we want the raider. Like we give him the freedom, like a sensation of freedom, like this, like the sensation that this is open. And you think that this is just a detail, but it's details count in this game. So here is my path, right? Here's my path of a speedrunner. And again, remember, a speedrunner wants speed, so make an easy pass for him, like this. And there you go. Easy. And now we're gonna use the speed. So what's happening with the speed now? Ooh, almost. I also heard something that I don't like. It's bolts. Ah, there you go. That's why I didn't get killed. See? Another thing that you have to be careful of. So we're gonna go like this. And so we have, for example, here we have the line of sight that is here, right? So we want the radar to go there, in this area. So what we can do, for example, it's going like this. Like putting some mental pressure to the radar. So he will just pass through here, right? So we're just gonna open. If we open like this, I'm afraid that like this, he will grab the wall. So I don't want him to grab the wall, right? Because if we put this, he just can grapple here or just grapple here. So which means that we can go like this. because the raider, if he grabs here, I should be fine. If he grapple here, it will trigger the ball shot, right? So we just this one is just to force the raider to not take any risk by passing through the corrosive cube and just get in the line of sight of a ball shot, all right, and then trigger. So I don't know if this with this one it should be okay. I'm just gonna do something also. And see this ball shot, no mods. So a ball shot without mods on a slope, it can kill me on the other side of a map. Why this is also crazy to use the ball shot? It's just insane. The range, it's absolutely insane. So we're gonna go back with the zoomies, and we're just gonna go like this because I want speed. I want to go fast. And obviously, if I'm not sure about my timing because the I can avoid this, then I put the relentless because it gives me a 2 second window, and 2 second in Meteor Maker is massive. It's super massive. 2 seconds in Meteor Maker where a fraction of seconds it's between the life and death. 2 seconds is super massive. It sounds ridiculous, but it's super massive. So yeah, to build this ball shot, all I need is just to make the raider grapple here. You can try without the cube, the corrosive cube here, and with the corrosive cube. It will really, 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 really depend on the raider. So some speedrunners will just go like this, right? So you will have to force the speedrunner to grapple here. Like for example, you can put a piston here. I'm not a huge fan of this, but in this case, it might be interesting to use a piston here because if the speedrunner is killed by this, what he's gonna do is grapple here and then hit the piston here, and then continue his course. So it means that this piston is not the real setup; it's just a bait, and this is why it's very important to have traps that would be baits and traps that are here to kill. This is also two different things that we can talk about later. But having a bait is very interesting because you can kill a speedrunner, an inchwormer with a bait. And it's super nice. A bait can be a piston, it can be a laser, it can be an enforcer, it can be whatever you want, as long as it's a danger for the raider and it's danger enough so it has the raider has to focus this trap. And this trap is not here to kill, it's just to put pressure and to be a bait. If you use a ball shot on the slope, I wouldn't recommend the Overshot because the Overshot just like makes it even more difficult and more obvious when you use the ball shot on the slope. But if you use it just like a normal one, and for example, I put Relentless again because I'm not sure of my window timing to hit the raider, that allows me again to enlarge it and to be able to that allows me to enlarge the hit window. There you go. Got killed on this side of a map. How many cubes is this? No, it's not completely the other side. Maybe 23 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. When you play with a slope, as you can see, my path is kind of weird. So it's to make it less obvious to the raider that something is waiting on the top of it. But obviously, I have to force the raider to go up because the bolts are just like going in a circle like this, like this. So I have to push the raider to go up, and it has to be the only path. And why I put this at the end is because a slope slows down a bit the raider. You don't really need, for example, grappling to catch a raider, to slow a raider. You just need a slope. A slope, like the fastest travel is a flat way, right? But if you add slopes, it slowed down a bit the radar. It's just like, even if it's like a microsecond, it's just you need for your bolts, for your bumps, and whatever. So that's why you have to get a certain shape. So you have to see where your bull shot is hitting or how far your bull shot can hit, and then you adapt your path from this. And you can also have like a higher roof, like a higher ceiling, because if the raider goes up, right, if he's trying to escape the bull shot and he grapple here, he would he will get killed by the bull shot. So you have to keep like a two cubes height ceiling, so the bolts have a chance to kill the raider just in case he's going up, right? And obviously here it's just for the speedrunners, and if you want, you can put more pressure on it, but focus the pressure more against inch warmers, because speedrunners, they will just go through this. And fun fact, a lot of speedrunners, they love trying to outrun a bull shot. They love it.